So you guys, my phone cut off. So now it's going to be the second part of your beginner mat information for whether or not you're training to become a teacher in Pilates or you want to further your understanding of positions in Pilates. So we ended with the last video on your single leg kicks. Your arms were either going to be parallel or you're going to have your hands stacked together in that V formation. This is kind of old school. We see Joe doing this in the archival footage. So I'm just going to go back into that so that you understand. To come from here, you would do your up-tempo kick. So you have 50% for precision and 50% for flow. This is going to be your flow. Kick, kick right, kick, left, one more, kick, last one, kick, and then lower the legs down to roll onto your side for the side kick series. So what I had mentioned in the last video, and I'm going to reinforce it here again, is that this lift and opening of the chest and the anchoring of your hips and your pubic bone down into the mat is exactly the same muscle memory and information that you want to take onto your side. So when you lay on your side and the feet come forward to the front edge of your mat, your bottom elbow and shoulder are still lined up with the back edge of the mat as if you were still laying on the mat with your stomach. Both hips should feel equally like they're pressing forward like headlights in the same fashion that you were on your stomach, then propped up, and now you're taking it to laying down. So the pelvis is the thing that you want to really focus on for all of your beginner work, and that's where movement in the beginner system comes from, whether you're in a neutral pelvis position or a posterior pelvic tuck. It's very rare that we'll see an anterior pelvic tilt in beginner. All right, so from here, I'm taking a slightly different foot position. You can just have clients bring both feet forward. I'm just pushing the pinky toes down into the mat. Top hand is on the mat, top leg lifts up just to hip height. If you have a mirror, you can check your height so that you're not lifting higher than you think. You don't have to go outside the level of your hip or above hip height. You would stay at hip height. So stretch your leg an inch longer. It's funny, I had recorded this and then a call came in, so now I have do not disturb on. Turn your thigh out. So this is how we would kick to the front, and parallel, knees and toes point forward. That's how you kick to the back. Turn out, so you're rotating the thigh out for your kicks to the front, and we're just practicing with one leg stacked over the other parallel to kick to the back. Now turn out for your kicks to the front, stay flexed. Kick forward once, higher twice, point, stretch your leg long, and you want to check that again, the foot and the hip are in alignment, so the foot doesn't drop below the level of the hip or below the midline, and it's not above the hip height. You want it at hip height, and lift your abdominals in and up in opposition. Flex, kick through once, twice, point, stretch back, reach long. It's a little bit tricky as you get it to the back to keep it very parallel and not let it wobble, to sort it out. Kick, that's where control comes in. Joe's method was called the art of control, Contrology. So we're trying to work a little bit around that and make sure we have it. Kick, stretch, reach. Here's your flow. 3 more. Kick, lengthen back, abdominals in and up, especially when you lengthen back, both hips anchor forward. 1 more time. Top leg over the bottom leg. Very parallel, so you want to just check if you're not sure to internally rotate the legs. So both hips again are your headlights, and then lift 3, up 2, up 1, flex, lengthen to lower. Point, lift 3, 2, 1, flex, lengthen to lower. 2 more. Point, resist, up, flex, lower, down. 1 more. Point, lift 3, 2, 1, lengthening out all the way from the whole side body to the foot. Now flex, lift on 1, stretch it longer by pressing through the underside, and lower 3, 2, 1. So you definitely feel your obliques here. If you want to focus a little bit more into them, you can draw them in like you're wearing a very tight belt around your waist, left to right side. 1 more time, flex on the left point, draw the leg down, hugging to the midline for 3 counts, turn the thigh out, heel to heel, tiny circles. 8 to the back, 7 to the back, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, try not to move anything but the leg. 7, 6, 5, maintain abdominals in and up. 3, 2, 1. For your beginner, we have our inner leg work, so you would grab the ankle from behind for the bind, use your top glute to turn the thigh out and keep both hips still facing forward like your headlights. If this doesn't work, you put the shin down and take your hand away. If this doesn't work, you put your head down on your bicep and rest. So you can have these different modifications if you choose to. For your clients, flex the bottom foot, lift up 3, 2, 1, halfway down. Lift up 3, 2, 1, halfway to lower. Lift, 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 halfway to lower. Keep trying to work the lift of the powerhouse, squaring your box, lift up and hold. So I'm giving you a couple different rhythms, lift up and hold. 2 more like that, lift up and hold. 1 more time, lift up and hold, 8 pulses, 8, 7, 6, up, 5, up, 4, up, 3, 2, and 1. Point your foot, stretch everything out. You can see how I'm wiggling myself a little bit longer. 8 circles, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 8, 7. This is a lot of deep pelvic floor muscles, hip muscles, everything just to stay very quiet and still while your abdominals are in and up. Lower the bottom leg, bring the top leg to meet it. If I was in a regular classroom or studio, I'd roll the client to the opposite side and I'd move over so that they could see me on that side. Here, I'm just gonna pivot all the way around to my opposite left side so I can still face the camera. A lot of us are teaching online or taking online classes. I take an online lesson every week and it's the same thing for me as well. So you wanna line yourself up, make sure your 2 hip points are like cameras pointing forward, hover the top leg off the bottom leg, and right away you should feel a sense of length from the powerhouse, like your leg extends from your belly button all the way out through your toes. So flex your foot so we can get that sense of where the leg needs to be in space for the kicks. Turn the thigh out from the hip, wrapping up high at the glutes. That would be your front kick position. Parallel with your foot pointing will be your back kick position. Flexing and turn out is your front position. Pointing parallel is your back kicking position. Here we go. So flex, turn out, double kick forward. 1, square your box. 2, point, reach back. So squaring the box means that shoulder is over shoulder and hip is over hip. So if I were to pivot forward like that, I'm not shoulder over shoulder anymore. So I want to keep that shoulder back by pressing the palm into the mat and lengthening through my top leg at hip height. Parallel to the front, flex, kick. Here you could also wind up not squaring the box as well, but you want to keep working a lot of effort across the upper body to keep things very quiet for the parts that aren't moving. The only thing that's needing to move is this leg. To the front, kick, kick. That rest is stabilizing the movement. Up tempo 4 times, kick, kick. Point, reach back. 3 more, kick, kick. Lengthen back. 2 more, kick, kick. Reach back. 1 more time, kick, kick. Reach back, lengthen. Top leg over the bottom leg, parallel. Resist up 3, 2. Stretch it from your belly button out. Remember, flex, float it down. The leg should be as long as the other leg. Point, lift 3, 2, 1. This way you're not collapsing with your rib cage down. Lift 3, 2. It's almost like your ribs want to lift, but they don't actually. Point, lift 3. They're just light on the mat. And flex lower. Reverse. Flex, lift 1. Point. Now stretch out. Lower 3. Long neck. 2. Pull your abdominals in and up. 1. Flex, lift 1. Point. Lower 3. 2. It's almost like you're pulling your whole body out long and tractioning yourself with the effort within your own muscles. You can do it. Lift. Point. Lower 3. 2. Now turning the thigh out. Go heel to heel. Circles to the back. 8, 7. Nice and low. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. You think like a drill, or that you're circling your big toe on the inside of a dime, if that helps keep the circles small for you. 6 more. 5, 4, long neck, head is hovering over the shoulders, and then from there we do our inner thigh work. So bend the top knee, grab your ankle if you can and do your bind. Remember, you're still trying to not let this hip rock back because then you're not squaring the box. So you gotta press that hip forward and rotate the thigh out. This bind is not easy to do, so it's not for everyone. We always have the option to take the hand away and put the shin down. This way the hips are still stacked. All right, so whichever one feels like it works for you, stretch through your bottom leg, reach through your bottom elbow, lift up, 2, 3, halfway down. Lift up, 2, 3, halfway down. 2 more, lift, 2, 3. So again, I'm giving you a couple options with rhythms. for the lower leg, and then lift up and hold halfway down. So you want to think about obliques and abdominals in and up for this kind of stuff, because you want the leg to move from the connection up into the powerhouse. Pulse up, 8, 7, 6, 5. So my muscles are definitely engaged tight all the way around my waist like a big giant weight belt. And then point your foot, stretch out long. 8 circles, 7, 6, long leg, 5, 4, circle to the back as well as the front, and reverse. 8, 7, might feel more like a box or a triangle. It's okay, do your best. 4 more, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so onto our backs. So every movement transitioning from one exercise to another should feel like it has a sense of control with as little adjusting as possible. So be ready if you're the teacher to give that information, and if you're the client, stay calm in your body, stay in control of your powerhouse so that any transitions, such as laying onto your back, are done with minimal movement so that you feel a sense of control over your body. Like shoulder bridge, just a normal shoulder bridge like from yoga, maybe you've never done it. Your legs are at a right angle, generally speaking, and your heels are close to your hips. For our teasers, we're gonna walk our feet at least 1 foot's distance away from the hips. Extend the right leg long. I'm gonna teach 2 different ways to work the arms, one on one side, one type of variation on the other side. So the first one is arms parallel to the floor. So you curl up by pulling the rib cage down to come up like you're about to do the 100. From here, you want to imagine that you're peeling yourself off the mat. If you were glued there, and your arms will be parallel to the floor, your thighs are side by side. If you need to hold them to come up, you can hold them and then stretch your arms long. Imagine you're still reaching your arms across the room, but as you roll down, your head is reaching to the top of your mat. Do that again. Slide your hands forward and feel like you're pressing the palms up to the ceiling, lifting the chest, let your head float above your shoulders. Remember that part from earlier? And then curl the tailbone under. We've done that many times. But then as you stretch out long, you go back into neutral. Curl back up. So here you would be neutral pelvis, but at the top, right about here, you're curled under. You have to be. There's no way to sit up tall at this point, and roll back down to the mat. That information is for you as a teacher, not necessarily something that you need to explain to a client. If you're a client watching this, then hopefully it helps you understand something at the top a little bit better. So now, as you lift up, your hands are gonna press with the back of the hands up so that they're parallel to your legs. Your head is still floating above your shoulders. So you've got to drive the lats down into your obliques and lift your abdominals in and up. And then as you go down, you're pressing your palms down to the floor. Lengthen your spine out long. Do that again. Feel like your arms reach forward and the back of your palms press up. Glue the thighs together. Lift your arms parallel to your legs and resist as you roll back down, pressing the palms back down. One more time, reach forward and roll up. And then with control, roll all the way back down to the mat. And as you land, hug your left knee in, hug your right knee in, place your hands behind your thighs, rock up to seated for seal. So it's similar to rolling like a ball. If somebody can't do the bind for seal, they would do rolling like a ball again. So hands together, place them behind your heels and wrap them around your ankles. Find your balance point like you did for rolling like a ball by curling the tailbone under and using the abdominals to pull the feet up off the floor. Thighs are pressing into your arms, arms into your thighs. Here we just do the rocking. You can either have Pilates stance with long, soft feet, or you can hold and cup the heels and bring the soles of the feet together, but you still want that connection. Thighs into arms, arms into thighs, and here we go. You're rocking back for your shoulders, rolling up to your hips to balance. Rock back, balance on your shoulders, roll up, balance on your hips. Eventually, like a seal, we clap 3 times with our feet from the hip sockets. So you'd rock back and clap, 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 and rock up, clap, clap, clap. Rock back so it's not slapping the feet together. It's an opening and closing from the hips to loosen up the effort from doing things like side kicks and teaser. 2 more times, rock back and roll up. 1 more time, rock back Roll up, balance. Softly put the feet down, and then come into quadruped on your hands and knees to set up for your push-up prep. So with your hands right underneath your shoulders, if your hands are out in front of you or hands are too low underneath you, you want to readjust. Even if you have a mirror, it's so great because you can still see your head should be floating above your shoulders. Draw the lats down the back into the obliques and curl the tailbone under so you feel a strong connection into the abdominals. Hold on to that and keep the neck long as you send one leg back and the other leg back. So you want to count out 5 as if people were doing 5 push-ups. So it's on a very steady, even rhythm for 5, 4, great job, 3, 2, 1, softly float your knees back down so they're underneath your hips. Reset your position, pull your abdominals in. Think about the anchoring of the hips that you've been doing, even from your side kicks, so that from front to back, you feel a connection, and from left side to right side, you feel drawn in. Send one leg back. Neck is long, the other leg back, head is floating above your shoulders. Hold it again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and softly float one knee down and the other knee down. We have one more time, and this is where you would have somebody come to standing. Since I'm on the Cadillac, it's going to be a little awkward, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. Send one leg back, send the other leg back, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, you hollow out your chest by curling your head down and lifting the rib cage up. The heels will stretch to the floor. That's the first part of coming into your walk back to your feet position, so that you're in your powerhouse to bring one hand under you, the other hand under you, and then the other hand. At this point, people can have their knees bent and soft. So I'm going to step down to the floor, walk into the camera, and show you that I've just walked back to my feet. Back of my neck is long, knees are soft. So place the heel of the hands into the hip creases. Curl the tailbone under like you've been doing through class. Give a little gentle pressure into the heel of the hands to bring the rib cage back over the pelvis. Stretch your legs straight or bring the shoulders back over the ribs. Stretch your legs straight, bring the head up over the shoulders, and relax your arms long by your sides. All right, you guys, I hope that helped you understand a little bit more about beginner mat work. Okay, have a great day. And if you need anything or have any questions, put it into the chat or DM me. Thanks.